We're going to be talking about how to rocket catch against zone. Now, rocket catching is something that I've talked about over the last couple of years, and you only see a select few old heads in the community do it, but it's a weapon that is extremely valuable. Now, rocket catching against man-to-man is super simple this year. In fact, if you guys face match, it's very easy as well. I'll kind of show you guys how it works in general, and then we're going to apply a simple rule into how to make this work against zone coverage as well. So we'll start off with a simple spread out formation. Now, with my settings on this, unfortunately, I can't go into the settings here and show you this, but if you're on the main settings in the game, I am on basically the small freeform setting, 10 out of 20, nothing special. You don't have to be on far like I was last year to make this work. So let's start off here with a little bit of like cover one, and I'm just gonna show you how to go through a freeform. And with this, all you're gonna do is put streaks on the field. And when you go to throw the ball, you're going to press left trigger in the icon, and you're going to steer the ball down and click onto your receiver. And while still holding down, he's just going to turn around on a dime. It's that simple. It's something that you guys could do to, like I said, any spot on the field. I could do this with Kittle. It's just left trigger down, hold down, turn around, press Y. And a lot of times you'll get that kind of teabag animation. The reason that this works so well is that there's not really any KOs in this game. They're not really that good anyways. And you also have the positional advantage boost in this year's game, where if your guy is between the quarterback and the defender while catching the ball, a lot of times they give you a catch in traffic bonus. So you're gonna see here that I could do this to pretty much any spot on the field. It's really simple. And you see that you're gonna end up with pretty much a ag attempt at any of the 4 spots on the field. Now, of course, it's a lot cleaner when you can get an animation and they don't hit you at all. You see right there, the guy that was in man coverage couldn't get there. The safety in the zone kind of was able to break on the throw a little bit, but it's a very simple concept. Again, when you go to freeform, you're holding down the entire way, so that way your receiver turns around on a dime and makes this catch animation. And usually if he's hitting the kind of box out animation, you're going to get the ags in traffic. Now, that's against man-to-man, and you're seeing that, again, it's not really doing a great job at stopping us. It doesn't have to be any more complicated than this, okay? That's how you do it against man-to-man. Now, when it comes to zone coverage in this game, it is a little bit different. And what I mean by that is that zones in this game have a little bit of a psychic behavior if they're not placed into conflict. So what I'm going to do to illustrate this is I'm going to call a trip set here, and I'm going to call a cover 3. And with this cover 3, I'm just going to put a solo streak down the left sideline. This could be a fade. And I'm not going to attack vertically with anyone else on that side of the field. We do have a crosser, but that doesn't really constitute attacking vertically on that side since he's running to the other side of the field. And what you're going to see is that when I go to snap this, that if I do this free form, you're going to notice that the DB kind of turns around and gets the hit. Right there, we got lucky, I would say. And here in this example, I'm going to isolate Randy by himself, so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. If I throw this free form down, you're going to notice that you can try to rock it a little bit, but the DBs do tend to break on this throw a little bit more in terms of their response. You are seeing right there with Dion, I'm able to kind of snap this off a fair amount. But especially when you start to get into the 90s for your zone coverage, that's where you're going to notice that the DBs tend to play this a lot better. So we take a look here at prime time, his ratings. He's going to end up having a zone coverage rating of 89. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Pat Tillman, or I could put Cooper DeJean or Jesse Bates or Kirby Joseph, anybody north of 90 on the outside, and you're going to immediately notice that there's a better response. So go ahead here. I'm going to call that same vertical pattern, just a single streak down that left sideline. And if that DB has 90 zone or more, they're immediately going to start playing this a lot better. So watch Pat Tillman on this in the same cover 3 behavior. I'm going to go ahead and snap the football, and you're going to see that he's going to break on it a lot better. You see that he's able to, kind of at least impact the play, give a chance for the knockout attempt, whereas Dion was kind of lost in the sauce. So again here, you see right there, he actually cut underneath of it on that particular throw. That was a down and inside. I'll try to throw his back shoulder here, kind of down and away, and do this click on. And you're seeing that, it's taking a mid stick work. I have to get lucky. They have to try to play an interception animation. But if they play ball or they play a SWAT, you're going to notice that this ends up being a knockout nearly every single time. So what this means is that you need what is called conflict. You have to put that defender into a situation where he's kind of hedging two different routes at the same time. And if you guys recall, last year, I taught this on my strategy website, Gridiron Game Plans. Now, before I tell you guys how to counter this, Gridiron Game Plans has been open since 2020, keeping you on top of the meta, or the most effective tactics available in competitive Madden. What the pros do, why it works, and most importantly, how to counter it. And on top of that, you're going to get things the pros aren't doing that are very, very effective, like, for instance, this tutorial that I'm putting out absolutely free here on my YouTube channel. So make sure you're subscribed right here, but also take a look at Gridiron, as it's the best place in the tip space to get better at the game for the most affordable price. $9.95 a month unlocks everything: weekly vault updates, all offensive and defensive game plans and their updates, members only Discord access where we have lab sessions every Wednesday. Definitely make sure you take advantage of it. So we're going to be putting our outside player into conflict. So in order to do this, I'm going to call, let's call it 4 verticals again. This time I'm going to put the presence of a slot receiver on that side of the field. Now, for spacing purposes, I am going to back this up so you can really see how this conflict behaves. But as you saw in the previous example, the DB is alerted a little bit more to the fact that the ball is in the air. See in this replay that Tillman, while we were able to kind of turn around and get in front of him, was kind of tethered to the receiver. You see, as I turn, he turns with him. And then he's able to get this little knockout attempt by undercutting his legs, and the ball's dropped. So the easy way to explain this is that when you have a second vertical attacking route on the same side of the field, he can't cheat towards the back shoulder throw to Randy Moss, because he also has to make sure he's in a position where he can drive on a throw inside in the seam to Deebo Samuel. So in a lot of these cases, this is why seams are so popular. The outside third doesn't do a great job of getting to that throw, but just the presence of that route on the field will make it so he can't cheat towards Randy Moss nearly as well. So when I go to throw this back shoulder ball, he can't cheat nearly as much towards that throw, and we're able to kind of get that space where we're not getting hit in the air nearly as often. So again, just having that player present allows me to run this. Now, I understand what you're saying. Okay, well, you know, there's still a decent amount of time that they are able to make a, you know, a break on this throw. That's where I'm going to take this a little bit of a step forward. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a way to jetpack and get more space for our player. So we're still going to be using the outside receiver on the fade, but he's actually going to become more of the pull route. Now, if you guys have a hot route master or a slot apprentice, don't worry. If you don't have either, I'm going to show you a better way here in a minute. I want you guys to use the hot route master or slot apprentice wheel. And what that's going to do is that's going to make it so Randy Moss drives off the coverage, allowing the wheel to come in behind, and we can throw that rocket catch in on the sideline in behind the pull route. And of course you could, if you wanted to, if your pass protection is holding up, wait a little bit longer for this to occur. In this particular case, I do think it's a little bit better because you do have the pull route that allows you to really throw this more down the sideline, and a better click on right there gives me that catch. Also dealing with Micah Parsons going crazy there in the lefty tackle role. But again, you can throw this to either side of the field with a little practice. You let the streak pull, then you throw the wheel in behind, click on, come down and attack the football. So you're attacking towards the line of scrimmage, away from the DB that might be breaking back. And this is going to give you a lot of great turf for you to throw to. So I'll show this again. With the wheel route, you don't even really need to freeform. You could just hold down and then still hold down the entire time while you're clicking onto the receiver, and he'll cut it off in the middle of the field. So really, really nice way, especially because a lot of players in this game like to blitz so aggressively. A lot of them will play like a cover 4 with hard flats and just run a little blitz. And if you could get this guy in behind, this is a nice little soft spot in the zone that you can exploit pretty well. Opens up really, really nice. But again, this is with Hot Route Master. You need a slot apprentice or a Hot Route Master to make this work. So the other way that you guys can attack this is with the flip streak trick. And we've talked about this a ton over the last couple of seasons. All you do is come out in a formation where when you flip, it allows your receivers to run across the field. You choose a receiver and you hot route them to a streak when they hit the guard. And what that's going to do is that's going to make it so that you can actually turn a little bit of a streak into a wheel route and use it for the same manner. Now, in this particular context, A's the guy that I'm throwing to. And you see right here, I could throw this down and outside, and this allows me to throw the ball into that same window and do kind of the same animation. I could do the same with George Kittle by putting him on streak again at the right guard, and then he runs the wheel in behind B. So instead of a regular wheel route like we might throw to, for instance, the Hot Route Master version, you've got this more sharp version there with Kittle. Now, of course, you could run them both. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, But again, here you see how that gives you an outside to down pass lead to Kittle, or maybe a down and inside pass lead to Debo in the event that, you know, that's what you wanted to do. So again, here, you just notice that this allows you to kind of, I probably wouldn't run both, but again, you know, just a little creativity. So maybe you snap the ball, maybe the user goes down there and you want to cut it off. You know, something like that is also possible as well. So if they're, you know, more so playing the outside, you can throw inside or vice versa. But that's going to do it for today, guys. How to rocket catch against zone coverage, also against man-to-man coverage. I've done a lot of content over this over the years, so make sure that you guys go back and reference some older videos if you guys want to. Search things like rocket catch or user jetpack or user catch, and you'll see a ton of videos. Appreciate it. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. See you guys tomorrow. Until then, this is Zan. Get the lab and good luck.